Don't worry, this pain at the pump, this spike in prices, it's temporary. Ride it out. Once the war winds down, everything snaps back. Gas gets cheaper, groceries stabilize, life gets back to normal. That's the promise. But if you actually look at what economists and industry insiders are saying, the reality is a lot less comforting and a lot more familiar if you're someone who's been paying attention to how this system works. Because energy prices don't behave the way politicians talk about them. There's this old saying in the industry, prices rise like a rocket, fall like a feather. And that's not just a clever line, that's exactly what we're watching play out. Oil shoots up fast the moment there's instability, fear, or disruption. But when things calm down, when supply starts to come back, prices don't just drop overnight, they drift, slowly. Even in the best case scenario, let's say the war ends soon, shipping lanes reopen, production ramps back up, you're still looking at 6 to 8 weeks before things begin to normalize. And even then, normal doesn't mean what it used to. Oil could settle at prices higher than before the war even started. And for workers, that lag matters, because the costs hit immediately. Gas jumps $1 in a month, diesel goes up, jet fuel gets strained, and suddenly everything that depends on moving goods or people gets more expensive. Groceries, shipping, flights. One airline executive even warned ticket prices could jump 20% if this drags on. That's how it spreads, not just at the pump, but across your entire life. And here's the part that should sound really familiar. Once those higher costs work their way through the economy, they don't just disappear when oil dips a little. Companies raise prices fast, but they're a lot slower to bring them back down, if they do at all. So what you get is this ratchet effect. Prices climb quickly during a crisis, and then they settle at a new, higher baseline afterward. Meanwhile, we're being told this is just a short-term disruption. But even before this war started, people were already feeling squeezed. High prices, rising unemployment, that sense that things just aren't adding up anymore. This doesn't hit a healthy economy. It hits one that's already under strain. And if these high energy costs stick around, that's when you start hearing the word recession get thrown around more seriously. Slower growth, higher inflation, less room for workers to breathe. There's also a bigger reality here that doesn't get talked about enough. This isn't just about when the war ends. It's about what's been damaged, what's been disrupted, and how long it takes to rebuild trust in global supply chains. Shipping through a war zone doesn't just snap back to normal because someone signs an agreement. Production facilities don't just flip back on like a light switch. Companies hesitate, routes shift, risk gets priced in. And all of that keeps costs elevated. So when you hear promises that prices will drop very, very rapidly, understand what you're actually up against. A global energy system that moves slowly on the way down, a corporate system that passes costs on to you immediately, and an economic structure where working people absorb the shock first and feel the relief last.